When I was 17, my family moved 2 states away without telling me. I came home from school one afternoon to a half-empty house. Rooms that once felt so familiar suddenly looked stripped and hollow. Closets were bare, the garage was empty, and the kitchen smelled faintly of cardboard and dust. At first, I thought maybe we were moving and no one told me. Maybe there was some surprise waiting. But then I saw it. The note, taped to the fridge, in my mother's handwriting. It said, "You'll figure it out." That was it. No explanation, no apology. Just a single sentence like my entire childhood had been reduced to some cruel punchline. I stood there for hours staring at the paper. I called them over and over again. First my mom, then my dad, then my older sister. Straight to voicemail. I messaged them online, sent desperate texts, nothing. By the end of the week, I realized it wasn't a mistake. They had actually left me. At 17 years old, I was completely alone. The first few nights I stayed with a friend, but I could feel the tension in his parents' eyes. I was this burden they hadn't asked for, this stray kid sitting at their dinner table. Within a week, I was told I couldn't stay anymore. That was the first of many goodbyes. I learned quickly that couch surfing is never permanent. People will smile at you, call you family, then quietly push you out the door when it gets inconvenient. I worked whatever jobs I could get. Fast food at night, stocking shelves in the morning, cleaning offices on weekends. I was constantly tired, constantly hungry, constantly on the verge of giving up. There were nights I slept in my car, hugging my backpack like it was a blanket. There were days I didn't eat, choosing instead to save the money for gas just to get to work. Once, I stole a sandwich from a convenience store. I remember eating it in the bathroom, shaking with guilt and fear, but also relief that I wasn't starving for once. But the hardest part wasn't the hunger or exhaustion. It was the loneliness. Birthdays came and went. Christmas was just another cold day where the only lights I saw were from passing cars. I'd sit in my tiny apartment when I finally got one, watching families through windows, hearing laughter that felt like a language I'd forgotten how to speak. And every night I asked myself, why wasn't I worth keeping? That question haunted me. It burned into me. But maybe that fire is what kept me alive. I clawed my way through life. By 20, I was renting the smallest, cheapest apartment you can imagine. Peeling paint, squeaky pipes, a mattress on the floor. But it was mine. Every bill I paid, every grocery I bought, was proof that I could survive without them. By 25, I finished trade school. I had a steady job, a beat-up car that actually ran, and a little bit of savings. Slowly, painfully, I started to build something resembling a life. But the scars stayed. I struggled to trust anyone. Relationships would start strong. But the second things got serious, I'd pull back. How could I believe in love, in loyalty, when the very people who brought me into this world abandoned me like trash? Then, 12 years later, when I was 29, I got a message. It was from my mother. "We miss you. Let's reconnect as a family." My stomach dropped. After 12 years of silence, after leaving me to rot, suddenly they missed me. I stared at that message for hours. Part of me wanted to scream. Part of me wanted to throw my phone across the room. And a small, stupid part of me wanted to believe them, wanted to hope that maybe, just maybe, they were sorry. So I asked her. I typed, "Why did you leave me?" Her response came quickly. "It was complicated. We thought you'd be fine." Fine? At 17? Alone? Hungry? Broken? That single sentence shattered any hope I still had. They hadn't thought I'd be fine. They hadn't thought at all. They just didn't care. Over the next few weeks, they tried harder. Calls, texts, emails. My sister reached out too, acting like nothing had happened, like the past 12 years could be brushed away with a smiley face emoji. My father even sent a long message about how life had been hard for them, how they needed a fresh start. None of it included an apology. None of it acknowledged the hell they put me through. And every time I pushed back, every time I asked them to take responsibility, they fell back on the same tired phrase, "But we're family." That word cut deeper than any knife, because family is supposed to be who shows up when you need them most. Family is supposed to be safety, not abandonment. Family doesn't leave a 17-year-old kid with nothing but a fridge note. They beg to visit. They beg to start over. And I thought long and hard about it. I thought about the nights I spent hungry, the birthdays I spent alone, the years I spent questioning my worth. I thought about how hard I had fought to build myself into someone strong, someone capable, someone alive despite them. And when the moment came, when they asked me one last time to forgive them, to let them back into my life, I told them the same thing they told me all those years ago. "You'll figure it out." And then I shut the door. Now, I live my life without them. I have friends who feel more like family than my own blood ever did. I have peace, and I finally understand that sometimes letting go isn't cruel, it's survival. But I still wonder, if it were you, if the people who abandoned you came crawling back after more than a decade, would you forgive them? Or would you walk away like I did?